Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video about a children's trading card game. We have had the One Piece card game out in Japan for a couple of weeks now. Certainly we've had the set list for some time, and I think it is time to discuss what decks are doing well. Usually I like to wait a little bit to make these videos because early card game metas are always kind of garbage. Everyone's figuring out how to learn the game, especially at this point, but like even once you've learned the game, like people still have to figure out the format. So you know, like the first few days were filled with like Ooga Booga Rush decks and like all this sort of stuff before people figured out like, hey, card advantage matters and maybe going face isn't always the play. But anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and, if I can transfer over, jump into the list. I got a bunch of them here to talk about. So we're starting off here, this is just a few that I found online. There's so many. This is just really the most recent ones, like I've within the last like few days basically. So here we had a 200 plus player tournament. The first place was a mono purple list, and I think these mono color lists have been a lot more powerful than everyone was expecting, purely because that extra life, it's not only an extra card, right? So the leader kind of reads like draw one, like extra, which is obviously going to be really, really strong. But it gives you just that wiggle room as you move into the late game to just take a massive attack and it not be a big deal. And that's really, really important. So in this list, this is a very standard list. You can see there's like this, they're trying to play this Koizumi, whatever, the Orochi family little line here, which is cute. They've got the page 1 ulti combo. Personally, I'm not a massive fan of this list, to be honest. However, purple is just very strong. It's got very strong removal. And I think it's also a very popular deck, so I'm not overly surprised to see it here. You can see their main decking options that deal with a lot of the early format in the Kings, in the Kaido. Like the top end of this deck, essentially just like, okay, so firstly you have a big blocker in Queen, and then the entire top end of this deck like just deals with the current format, right? Like if you're playing against Zoro or if you're playing against Law, they're playing lots of little dudes. You don't care because you are going to nuke that board. If you're playing against anything with green, they're going to play Kid. You don't care. Any one of your Kaidos absolutely nukes that king. So nukes that Kid. So basically, like together, like purple kind of inherently has the tools to just deal with it, and then fundamentally a ramp deck just goes fast. Now personally, I'm more of a fan of Blurple Kaido, and we'll talk about that more in the coming videos. But yeah, I think this list is still fine. Then we have got a Zoro red list here, and it's good. It's got the Namis, it's got the Luffys. Playing Radical Beam, which is really, really good. It's playing a lot of events, but like a lot of events at like smaller counts, which I think is fine because you have that army to kind of tutor for them. They're just somewhat searchable. If you're wondering why it's playing Knights of the Round Table, the card combos insanely well with a Robin and with Jet Pistol. Jet Pistol is one of the most insane cards in the game. Radical Beam is a phenomenal card. I feel like it should basically be a 4 of in most red decks because it's just going to be a 1-cost 4k shield, which is super, super nice. My biggest issue with this deck is I think it's a little bit too aggressive in terms of like I think there's too many. It's playing too many like non cards like without blocker basically. But I don't know. Like I still think it's really, really good. Like Diablo Jumbo, finally people realizing that that card's kind of good in a format with lots of big blockers. So yeah, I think this is really, really good. And the Shanks there just a flex. I don't think it's a massive deal. Next, we have got this Law list, and this is one of the decks I expect to be like just running around and taking tournaments. I think it's one of the strongest in the game. You get to play this whole suite of really powerful cheap units in like your Namis, your Jewelry Bonnies, your Killers, and you've got your cheap blockers as well, and your Choppers and your Capones. And then you have like really, really powerful other tools like Okiku and Zoro and Luffy and the Laws. You just have like so many powerful tools in this deck to just like combo off and just like be really, really aggressive. And you have amazing removal tools. My biggest issue with this deck is it's not playing the Otama engine, which to me implies that, and it's not playing Kid either. So to me implies like Kid was just not at all seen in this meta, which is really, really interesting. Because like, I mean, it's absolutely one of, if not the best card in the game right now. So I'm genuinely shocked to not see that. Which makes me, it makes me think there's something in this local meta. But I think there's changes that certainly could be made to this list, but definitely like more Jet Pistol and some Robins and some Otamas would be really, really good in this list. But like I don't think this is bad. I just think like it's really weird not to play Kid. I would be playing Kid at a bare minimum. And then finally on this list we have the 4th place Kaido. This is Blurple Kaido, and you can see this is going full on ramp with the Onigashimas and cards that remove to combo off of the Kaido skill. Personally, I've been finding a very new and interesting way of playing Blurple Kaido, which I think is really really strong. And I don't think this list is really taking enough advantage of Kaido's unique strengths in the fact that like you don't really care late game about like massive massive Don minuses, so it's okay to really spam those late game. And I don't know, the list looks fine. It's very scary, like it's going to have hard removal. And I like the cheap blockers, I like the big blockers, I like the fact that it's taking advantage of love beam and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. There's a few changes I'd make, but certainly not a bad list by any means. I think like this is a perfectly fine list to take. But yeah, I'd like to see more of the 2K counters, which is definitely really weird. Also, sorry if you can hear that. That is a clock. Next up, we have this 150 round tournament. This is the first place list, and it's a Zoro list. Sorry, top 16 list. Misread that. This is a Zoro list. I just wanted to talk about because it's playing some more interesting things, some more metagame relevant things, I think, which is the Otamas and the Jet Pistols, which I just really want to emphasize. Like Otama into Jet Pistol is like Red's only way of dealing with Kid in like in any way kind of efficient fashion. That or Jet Pistol plus Round Table, but that's really expensive. That's 8 Don. Or Round Table plus a Robin pre-set up on board. Or double Otama into Robin or something, but that's like less likely in Zoro. So you basically like, I just wanted to highlight this because you really, really, really need to be playing this combo in order to get around 8-drop Kid, because otherwise like you just lose to every single green deck in existence. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight that, but this is just another good list, and I prefer this list to the previous one. Okay, then we had a 150 player tournament here, the top 4. So firstly here we have a green Kid list, and green Kid seems to be very, very popular at the moment, but it seems to be that there's just not much purple, and that's kind of part of the reason why green is doing so well right now, because like green it's one of those colors which is very obviously strong because it has that 8-drop Kid. You can see played at 4 copies here. Frankly, like if your opponent doesn't have a way to out it, which blue doesn't, and green doesn't really, red is kind of the best way to out it, and if all the red players are just playing Zoro, then clearly they weren't really playing money outs. Like, I'm not surprised this deck was completely taking over the format if there's not that many purples or blurples either. So yeah, anyway, some interesting things in this list that I really, really like. I like X-Drake. I think it's an interesting card. I think the fact that this list is basically, I don't know, I just don't like that this list is not playing enough 2K counters, but I also like the removal. The you can't. It's like got a lot of glare on it. It's bottom next to Kid. The X. I think it's not an X Drake. It might be an X Drake. It's like 6-drop and it removes a 4-cost or lower arrested. I do like that. I prefer it at less copies, and I think that like there's I'd like to play all of the 2K counters. I think this is only playing 2 of them. But I don't know. This looks like it looks good. This deck has really strong late game. Like mono green has very strong late game with this Kid because as I've discussed at length, it's probably the best leader ability in a vacuum. So yeah, this is really 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 nice. And I'm not surprised it won. Here we have red green law, and you can see a big part of this law's downfall is it's not playing Jet Pistol, it's not playing Otama, it's not playing any of these metagame counters to these like big things. So I'm not surprised it probably had a really rough day against that Kid. It's certainly not a bad list, in isolation of those, but like the fact it's not playing like literally some of its best tools to like deal with the format is probably why it didn't do so hot. It was probably why it didn't like win. It's certainly not a terrible list, but I think you're going to see like these metagames develop a lot more as we go through here. Then we have an Odin. This is a really really strong deck as well. Took people a little bit to figure out, but they are starting to do so, and it's very very nice. The fact basically this deck just build a board like really easily, and the problem is I think this deck is going to fall off. And the reason I think this deck is going to fall off is like people just didn't really know how to play against it. Like from what I've seen, people will just like continue to give Odin cards when the leader ability requires them to like discard cards, and it doesn't really do much if they don't have a lot of card advantage, right? Like their leader basically reads nothing if they barely have any cards in hand. So the way to deal with this deck is to like stop them from like building control their board and stop them from building hand advantage. If you just keep going face, let them develop their board, they are going to have all the cards in the world they need to just pop off and make your life a living hell. And it is difficult even if you play it right, because they have lots of ways to rest and lots of ways to remove your board. But yeah, it's more of a grindy one. But yeah, I don't know. The deck also like just really struggles to out 8-drop Kid. They don't have many super big attackers. the best part about this deck is the fact that like you kind of always are going to have the ability to play expensive counters and still be quite efficient with your dons. But yeah, I don't know, still a really good list. It's just like that's one of the issues with it. And then in fourth place we have another kid here. You know, not that much to discuss. Although I will say the 3-drop kid here is just a nice little combo to apply a huge amount of pressure. If you get that thing restanding with any of with your 5-drop lore that untaps. Though they're only playing it 2, but like, you know, like this is, it's just really scary. You load it up with like, you know, you play it the previous turn, load it up with like 5 dons, swing for 9, double attack, untap, swing for 9, double attack. That's really scary. Yeah, good list. Then we have got this 15-person shop tournament. Just wanted to quickly talk about this one. First place, we got another green kid list. I'm just giving you these lists now at this point, just for you to have some sort of reference. I really like Straw Sword here. I think Straw Sword might even be a 4 of. Just being able to control the board is so valuable. I think people are starting to realize that now. I really like the Hawkins here. Like once you win board in this game, like you kind of just win, because the game is deceptively like. Every time I would read about this game and every time I would think about this game, I thought, oh, this game's going to be really fast. I was dead wrong. This game is really slow, and every decision really, really matters, and really has like cascading impacts like later into the game. It's possible to swing, of course, but like if you lose board, like that leads to you taking so much more damage later on in the game than you would expect. So it's very, very important to win that board. Yeah, this deck's definitely going to do a really good job of it. I'm not surprised it won. We got a Blurple Crocodile here in second place, and I think the problem with this is the problem with all early Blurple Crocodile builds, and I'm not surprised it did super well in a small tournament, is the fact that it's actually bothering to play this Brogueworks engine. It's really not worth it, honestly. Like, there's better things to do, better ways to take advantage of your leader ability, and this Brogueworks package is actually really not very strong. There's much better things you can do, and I think like that's part of the problem. Blurple Croc, in my experience, has just been a very difficult deck to kind of even like begin to solve, and to some degree we kind of need the rest of the metagame to get solved before we can. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We're doing some work, and yeah, I don't think this is a good list. I wouldn't bother with it. Then we have got a Blurple Kaido. This is a good list. I really, really like the ramping and the discard cards here. Do not sleep on the discard cards. Once you start controlling your opponent's hand, they're going to have a horrible time. Just Purple Kaido, not Blurple Kaido. The Queen here is just another nice out for... The 6-drop Queen is another nice out for Kid, but yeah, I think this is playing way too many Kings. I would really cut back on the number of Kings. Like, it seems like their local meta is just full of, like, Zoros and Laws and stuff, so in that case, yes, I understand it. And I feel like I would much rather play the set 1, page 1, than the vanilla page 1, just because, like, you can attack... you can control board like way more easily. I think that card is being mega slept on right now. But yeah, I think there's lots of nice things in this list to take and put forward into other lists. And then finally we got a blue Doflamingo deck, and the biggest thing I want to talk about with these blue decks, there haven't been that many of them, I think they're really, really strong, I think they're being slept on, is the importance of the Sentomaro Pacifista package. I would not bother with the Blocker Pacifista as your main. I would very strongly consider playing 1 to 2 as options if you're playing this package, just as it's nice to sometimes get a blocker, like that can really be helpful. But yeah, I think that do not sleep on Sentomaro. It's like insanely strong. You just like, yes, it's a little expensive, but like the first turn you play, but if your opponent like doesn't immediately deal with it, the value you get is unreal, and it's still insanely good value early game. If you play this like turn 2, your opponent's probably not going to be able to instantly deal with it, and then you can just use the effect on the next turn, and that's going to be really, really strong. Yeah, I don't know, this is really, really good, and then just Doffy is a very strong leader. I think when you're taking advantage of the ways to stack the deck and make sure you're getting the good things. But I think like this isn't what I would consider to be an optimal list at all, but I definitely do like it, and I like the Virgos. The Virgos there are really nice. Just you need vanillas in blue to just hit big numbers and to be able to out 8-drop Kid, so that's why it's there. Next, we have got this Zorro list here. I don't really like the Frankie. I think it's fine. Like it's fine. Obviously, like Don 1 to be able to attack like study units is really, really good. It's just I don't know like it's fine. Like, look, good things to talk about with this list are the Otamas and the jet pistols. Thank you. They've realized. I'd play a couple. I'd probably play a round table or two, but you know, whatever. The Shankses here are just like here to flex. Honestly, like I probably wouldn't play them. Like that, they're fine. They're just a flex spot. Like, arguably Promo Luffy's better, but like, if you need the rushes, it's fine. I like the SRs, very very nice. But yeah, I don't know. This list is like good. It's a good list. This is probably the best Zoro list we've seen so far. The Frankies might work out really great. I need to test them all, but like, yeah, I just really like the Zoro list. I think it's really good. Then we've got a lore list here, and we can see like more just like these typical choices. Final, but still no Otamas in this list, and I think that's why. Yeah, I don't know how big this tournament was. I think it was a fairly small one, but this was still first like this. But yeah, like this list is also fun. Then we have got this kid list here, so we've got another one of these. And yeah, you're seeing lots of the standard sort of choices for the kid. Like, this card is just going to be running the metagame until everyone is main decking the outs to it, and then it's no longer going to be running the metagame. But like, yeah, if you want your really nice, easy wins as soon as the game starts, just play a green deck, play 4 of this SR kid, and you're just going to be vibing, because like no one's going to be main decking outs, and they're just going to have a horrible time, and they're all going to hate you. But it's free wins. Farm those locals, boys. Then we've got another kid list here. I like this draw swords, as I said. I think it's really important to be winning board. And I like the 7-drop kit. I think it's being slept on a little bit. Yes, blue outs it. Blue doesn't really play Sables that often, to be frank. Like, a lot of the blue lists I've seen aren't even playing it, so I don't know that I would like really be paying that much attention to what blue's doing. It's hardly a massive player in the meta. Red is far more relevant. Green is way more relevant. Purple is way more relevant. Like, blue is the least relevant color right now, even though it's really, really strong. But yeah. Then we have got this Odin list here. This is another nice Odin list. If you're wondering why all these cards are playing, all these lists are playing Apu, it's because it's a 2k counter. Why is it playing Shinobu? It's just value. It's 5k. You do need these kind of big stats, and I do like 2 of the 3-drop untappers. Those are quite nice as well. Yeah, Beppo as well. Like, why are you playing Beppo? Playing Beppo because it's a 2k counter. In my opinion, you should be playing 12 2k counters if you can. I really think like it's basically essential. 8 at the minimum. If you're playing less than 8, you're just capping, and you're going to have a horrible time. This list is playing 10, which I think is like a very reasonable amount. Then we have got this Crocodile list, which is a bit of a weird one, but it's playing the Centimara package. I'd be playing more Pacifistas. I do not like this Boa Hancock. I do not like this Promo Crocodile. I don't think this is a good list, but it topped, but like I don't think this is a good list. I wouldn't go off this at all. Then we have got a Doffy, and here, like, same issue. It's better. The Hancock is better in Doffy lists because, like, at least, you can play it for free with Doffy effect. But yeah, I also really don't like Jinbei. I think it seems really good in theory, it to just like bounce stuff. I get it, but like it's such a brick in your hand that I don't know if I would trust it. And finally, we've got this Kaido. But yeah, this Blurple Kaido. Which has the usual sorts of things. It's got your 2Ks, it's got your events. It's good. I'd play more. I'd play some of the discard kings, but yeah, that is basically it for this roundup of the top decks. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of them in the comment section down below. What decks have you been playing? And I hope you are all excited for way more of these as we see the metagame develop. Obviously, as you can see, it's super early. Lists all over the place. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Look forward to a tier list where I make horrible takes, and get everything wrong in the near future. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.